you feel trapped in a flat, predictable reality. Spending years in the same job, maybe seeing a small pay rise if you're lucky, before inflation eats away at it. You have ideas, you have ambition, but without action, the life you've always dreamt of will start to fade away. Society has sold you a lie, that money doesn't make you happy. This concept was engineered by the rich to control the poor, keeping us dependent and afraid. But the rich are just gonna keep getting richer. Today, we break down the brutal truth. You are not lazy. You are trapped in a system designed to keep you spinning your wheels on a flat line. This is the process to escape that trap and get rich, starting right now. The first stage is stagnation, and this is where most people are right now. Society has left you alone to fend for yourself, convincing you that slow, predictable progress is the only path. But if you stay here too long, you risk becoming a debt slave, where your income barely keeps up with your monthly expenses. The clearest signs you are trapped are the financial traps that disguise themselves as wealth plays. We call these F-tier assets. They are emotional buys, focused on consumption, not financial growth. The status symbols are the biggest drain. Luxury goods, watches, designer fashion, or a new sports car that might lose half its value in just a few years. You look rich while quietly draining your capital. Even worse are the outright gambles like the lottery, where the odds of winning are roughly 1 in 300 million. F-tier assets destroy wealth over time. If you can recognize this stage early, you can take calculated risks to get out before it's too late. The single most important first action is to gain full control of your finances. Track every dollar and automate your savings, putting money aside consistently each month. Believe it or not, more than half of people never even get to this stage. But once you start, you face two massive problems trying to drag you back down: your friends and inflation. First, your friends won't always like your new attitude because it forces them to either change or be left behind. They will try to drag you back down to their level. Second, inflation will actively punish you for playing it safe. Keeping money saved in the bank actually slows you down because the value of cash diminishes year after year. If you hold money in a typical bank account, earning no interest, inflation shrinks the real value of your money because things get more expensive. To counteract this, you must learn to invest. By putting capital into consistent, proven assets, that money works for you, growing consistently over time. Look at the true rags to riches stories of those who learned this lesson early. Sam Walton, born into poverty, saw the devastating effects of his father losing the family farm during the Great Depression. This experience instilled a lifelong determination never to waste money. Sam began his retail career hating the corporate system, JCPenney, but quickly discovered how to create a scalable system by drastically cutting costs and embracing low profit margins compensated by high sales volume. To avoid the drag of stagnation and inflation, you must recognize that getting out requires committing everything you have to building your own profitable system.
What got you here won't be enough to carry you to the next stage. To accelerate, you need to commit to utilizing the 3 C's: cash flow, connections, and confidence. Cash flow is the fuel for your financial engine. You need a constant supply of money coming into your bank account so that you can use it to generate more wealth. The best way to achieve this is a service-based side hustle with low startup costs that provides immediate income. This doesn't have to be your billion-dollar idea, just a service that businesses are willing to pay for to boost their profits. Confidence is what separates those who accelerate from those who stagnate. Confidence allows you to take calculated risks and make bold moves that others are too afraid to try. Without it, you hesitate at crucial moments and miss out on life-changing opportunities. Milton Hershey exemplified this commitment and confidence. After dropping out of school at 13, he failed with 2 different candy stores. He was ruined financially, facing bankruptcy, and was even told by his family he was too much like his schemer father. But his third business, the Lancaster Caramel Company, worked because he learned from his past mistakes, avoiding competition and selling caramels in bulk rather than individual penny candies.
This success fueled a massive display of confidence. In 1900, he sold his successful caramel business for $1 million to pivot entirely into mass-producing chocolate, telling his family that caramels were only a fad, but chocolate was a permanent thing. Now that you have cash flow and momentum, it's time for expansion, where your wealth starts to grow exponentially. This is achieved by investing in assets that generate passive income and appreciate over time, focusing strictly on things that put money into your pocket. Most investors rely on B-tier assets like index funds, which compound steadily and are accessible. Index funds like the S&P 500 offer a clean path to long-term wealth, potentially compounding $100,000 into $1 million over 30 to 35 years. These are solid, repeatable assets. But if you want accelerated wealth, you need to target A-tier and S-tier assets. These assets demand serious buy-in, requiring high capital, high skill, or immense patience. They are scalable systems that produce strong returns. At the crown jewels of wealth building sit S-tier assets. These assets combine growth, leverage, and scalability in ways lower tiers cannot. Over 70% of millionaires are entrepreneurs, proving that owning your own business is paramount. The business pays you twice, through steady cash flow and later when you sell it for a multiple of earnings. Another S-tier category is digital assets, the creator economy. These punch at the same level as traditional businesses because they utilize leverage. Leverage means money, technology, or people work for you, multiplying your success far beyond your individual effort. The wealthiest individuals focus on high-conviction plays, concentrating resources on investments they deeply understand, carrying higher risk but promising faster, larger returns. John D. Rockefeller's path from poverty to absolute dominance is the extreme example of a high-conviction play. He acquired his rival oil refiners through ruthless negotiation and intimidation during a period known as the Cleveland Massacre. He built an empire that eventually controlled 90% of the entire oil refining industry. He achieved this through vertical integration, ensuring he controlled every step of the supply chain, from oil wells and pipelines to refining and distribution. This is the final stage, where you have achieved true financial freedom and can live life on your own terms. Money is no longer a concern because your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses, fund your lifestyle, and allow you to focus on what truly matters. At this level, your focus shifts from relentlessly accumulating wealth to managing and preserving it. Mastery is about leaving a legacy and sharing the lessons you've learned along the way. The system tried to make you lazy, trapping you in a cycle of flat predictability. But money equals freedom, and freedom equals happiness. By following these stages, escaping the traps of consumption and debt, igniting your assets through investment, accelerating your growth using cash flow and confidence, and expanding your wealth by focusing on leveraged, scalable systems, you unlock the life you've always dreamed of. The journey won't be easy, but escaping the system is the key to true freedom.